Áudio é foda, né?
So I'm going to start this with this. Shane Cashman's ability to be an investigative journalist is an absolute joke. Guys, if you haven't read the second part of the multi-part series that is Shane Cashman's work on Eliza Blue, then you are going to be saving yourself from a mouthful of word vomit. That article is some of the most gaslit garbage I've ever seen produced. I mean, period, by far, anything I've ever seen Timcast news produce. But single-handedly, it was primarily written by Shane Cashman. And it had to have gone through Tim. I mean, he wouldn't have allowed it had he not seen it or read something or at least confirmed some kind of detail about it. But we're going to get into it, starting with right here. At the rate I was personally, and this is from Shane Cashman, at the rate I was personally getting attacked online for injecting myself into this story, I started to think that even if Eliza was a total liar, if she somehow schemed up this wild and elaborate lie that would have taken years to plan, it didn't warrant the level of attack on her nor anyone in her surroundings. Right there, he's gaslighting you if you think that she's lying by putting about how preposterous it would be for it to be a lie. At this rate, I was in just the first sentence. It took Shane Cashman getting personally attacked online to start to think that she might be a total liar. What was the point of doing an investigative piece on somebody you didn't think was lying? Really? That's low and pathetic. This is when I started to realize that a lot of the people making the most noise about Eliza's story were truly the useful idiots. They became tools of destruction rooted in absolute ignorance and disguised as moral authority. He's specifically talking about Jeremy and Brittany and a few others. You're going to tell me that those much smaller creators than you making noise about Eliza's story, along with the countless others who have pointed out all of the gaps that are in Eliza's timeline and story, they are the useful idiots. They are the tools of destruction. I don't think any of them in any of their videos adjudicated themselves as the moral authority on Eliza Blue. I think what they did do was get censored right off the rip from trying to make and ask questions regarding a publicly available YouTube video that kicked this whole thing off, that now has gotten completely lost in the narrative. And now this is just about how Tim has meltdowns with his beanie on and they're blocking each other. And it's all grifter this, grifter that, grifter this. It's pathetic. It's blatantly pathetic. There was that sense of doom again. Like, dude, like, cry me a river, Shane. Cry me a mother effing river. That sense of modern war, which isn't always as grand and sweeping as Hollywood's vision of war. This war starts as a seed planted within the darkest parts of our brains, and it grows until some people can't distinguish the voice of manufactured hate from the voice of their own supported reason. They will do anything. I mean, anything. And I'm talking about Timcast News Organization, the entire crew as a whole, will do anything besides consider the possibility that Eliza is a complete liar. They won't consider the possibility that they're the reason why she got a bolster in fame here in the last couple of months. They won't consider that it is even their own audience that is greatly upset by the debacle that has taken place regarding this. And to see this kind of fan fiction writing regarding all of this, along with the video that leaked showing Eliza all over Ian while Adam Krigler is recording, like, you know, many times Tim Pool would sat here on his camera and said, these people don't care. Like, these people just simply don't care about you. They hate you. Stop giving money to people who hate you. Stop giving your money to Tim Pool. My angle from this in the beginning, the entire time, has been how it relates to the toxic nature of the damage that has been done by feminism in Western culture. And I'm someone who has experienced some of this garbage myself. And part of the reason I have such inspiration to be political and talk about these things and want to bring light to these situations is just generally what a bad position most men in their dating age are in currently. You know, and I'm talking mainly like men who anywhere from like, you know, all the way from young boys to like mid 30s. And I think a lot of those who are older than that, it still affects you, but less so if you are not participating in the dating market. And to see how this all goes down, you know, you had her on the show. I believe it was the night of Andrew Tate's arrest, or even a couple days following that. It probably was a couple days following that. So you had the eyes of people who were following the Andrew Tate situation as you platformed and presented a woman who used the guise of being anonymous to then present multiple statements. I believe it might have just been two from alleged victims of Andrew Tate, because on that episode, it was a lot of softball questions that was handed to Eliza, and I would say very minor pushback. And, you know, maybe it could be because a lot of these things don't reach the eye of Tim because he's not been someone who has been overtly masculine their entire lives. Matter of fact, getting made for quite the opposite, in fact. And I think if you're someone who's looking for Tim to fit that Aiden Ross, or not even Aiden Ross, but someone who could even push the needle on those kind of issues that are heavily talked about by the former, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, Andrew Tate, Aiden Ross, Sneeko. Tim is not someone to look for those answers. And if you are paying him money and supporting him for those reasons, I think now is the time that you can take a sad, depressing sigh and breath and realize you got to put your money elsewhere, because that is not the hero you were looking for. To go one step further for this article, because there's really no point in going through this whole thing. Like I said at the beginning, this is just a bunch of like word vomit from someone who wants to gaslight you into infinity. We have encountered a gang of leeches here that suck at the skin of a machine they can't comprehend the full scope of because they are so lost in their own narcissism. Or perhaps even worse, they are conscious of a symbiosis between them and the destruction orgy, carrying torches and pitchforks and masquerading through the internet, our perpetual trauma machine. These people are digital cannibals. They care more about their names getting lumped into stories the same way tumors grow in a body. They worship fame. So if you want to know how the Timcast crew feels about all of your other creators that you follow, whether it's The Quartering, whether it's Brittany Venti, whether it's That Star Wars Girl, whether it's The Yellow Flash, just know that they think those people are cancer. They think the only reason that those people exist is to make money and grift. They think that those people provide no purpose other than to revel in their own narcissism. And that any points that they've even kind of laid out against him, completely wrong. There's zero admittance on this side, on Tim's side, of even a whiff of we were wrong or taking responsibility or being accountable. And it absolutely like spits in the face of that integrity you're supposed to have and the reason why so many people follow you. I'm not looking for drama. I'm looking for answers as to why an immediate suspension and a tweet getting knocked down happened, relating a screenshot getting posted with someone asking questions regarding a publicly available YouTube video, regarding a widely disputed timeline, regarding a widely disputed person who can't get their story straight, who has more holes than Swiss cheese, and you can't take one principled stance in any of that, it's, you know, you get what you pay for, I guess. This to me was a sad moment because I did not even have to meet my hero for them to die in front of me. And it sucks, you know. And I'm not going to be paying out for Tim. I'm not going to be sending him money at all. I'll still probably try to follow along when it relates to just much more national news and things of that nature, when he's got the bigger reach on things, you know, when he's got people like Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert on, you want to actually listen for that information, you know? And so I still think Dem is a net positive. I just think this draws into question just exactly how much, and it should change and gauge your expectations for what he puts forward in the future. Sad but short. So, just trying to keep you guys updated. Thanks for listening. Peace.